Hi everyone, and welcome to the
Don't lean over me. Welcome to the first episode of GlitchxCity. We might as well call it GlitchxCity. I choose you.
I've never heard this.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What do you mean? Because Pokemon I Choose You is the first episode of Pokemon.
I didn't realize you had this planned out. But I like
well.
Oh yeah.
So this is a podcast all about your nerdy things, but
Pokemon related, gaming
Yu-Gi-Oh,
related.
Dungeons and Dragons, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
We're all fans of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Only up to GX though, surely. After that,
I've only ever watched about Yu-Gi.
Oh, there we go.
I'll only discuss 5Ds.
Oh my gosh.
Where are the motorcycles? Motorcycles are nothing. Okay, just before we get into anything else though, I've got some, I went on Poke Community.
No, we should introduce ourselves.
Okay, introduce ourselves first.
Hi everyone.
Okay, you can go first, Dennis.
My
You gotta
name's
say your name.
I was getting to that also. My name's Dennis, and I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I'm just looking for
Looking for love.
looking for love in all the wrong places. That's it.
Okay.
Well, Dennis, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh my god.
And we'll critique.
I have so many favorite Pokemon. I think
only
my
allowed
first,
Which one comes to the top of your head?
just because we were talking about it today, is Pidgeot.
Yeah. We've heard stories,
Pidgeot?
which I'm sure will be one day.
Yeah.
Okay. I can go next. My name's Logan. I started watching Pokemon like 6 months ago, and I got 8 episodes in and I stopped. But I've been playing the games since I was like Pokemon Fire Red was like my first Game Boy game I ever played. And so I just had Fire Red and Sapphire, and those were like the only games I played forever. So I'm a big Mudkip fan.
Yeah. I heard you like Mudkips.
Yeah, Mudkip is the only Pokemon for me. I wish he was in Shield, but I'll let that go.
And you don't even know about the Mudkip meme, do you?
No,
Okay.
I don't know about the Mudkip meme.
You know, so I heard you like Mudkips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
What's a Mudkip?
What? It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, but what's like the meme? I don't understand that. I
it's
heard you like Mudkip.
So I heard you like Mudkips. I'll put like a thing in that corner there.
Okay. Is it like?
Explaining it.
Okay. You can go next.
Anyway, I'll go next. My name is Harry. I've literally been playing Pokemon since I was 3 years old. Which is
Wow.
like insane to think
Couldn't
about.
even
I am now 23, so I've played it for 20 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
So saying
That's older than Oliver.
That's older. That's older.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
That's the 4.5. Wow.
Crazy.
But yeah, man, my favorite Pokemon has like scaled throughout the years, going from Squirtle to Steelix. But recently, I fell in love with a certain dopey water bird from Sword and Shield called Cramorant.
Is that the one that has Pokemon in its mouth?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get the little Barraskewda or the Pikachu stuck in his mouth and shoot it out. I love it so much. Yeah.
Nice.
It's not good. It's good.
It's not.
It's just,
My question about that is, what happens to the Pokemon in its mouth when you catch it? It's not there again.
it disappears, yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume Cramorant has ate that Pokemon. That's my assumption. When you Dynamax as well, it's not there. So I assume Cramorant eats it while it's Dynamax. And
Maybe that's
the
how it gets its power.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go.
We're really getting into the lore now, aren't
Yeah,
we?
yeah, we're getting it way too early. Oliver, it's your turn.
Oh, hi. I'm Oliver. I got into Pokemon when I was like 6, literally just because my older brother was into it, and I was like, yeah, cool, this is the cool thing. I started with like Fire Red and then Diamond, and then I've played every single game just growing up from then. I've gone back and played all the old ones. It's kind of sad, but it's entertaining. Right now I'm playing a fan-made Pokemon game, just while in isolation.
Fan-made
They don't
going
count.
well.
No, they don't count. Don't give them support.
It's really good.
What?
But anyway.
What's a fan made? I didn't know they made
the fan made games.
Yeah,
like
there's heaps of
There's loads
fan-made
of
ones.
fan-made games.
yeah,
They're really
Clear
good.
Crystal I heard is a really good one. That one has like following Pokemon in it, and it's like based off of Crystal version.
But yeah, it's just
Okay.
I really like it.
Favorite Pokemon, Oliver?
Always liked it. My
What's-
favorite Pokemon. I'm really into. I really like Whimsicott. Say
I don't
Whimsicott.
know what that one. What does that one look like?
Choice.
One of my favorite
Oh,
Pokemon.
yeah.
Whimsicott looks.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
can
really
bring it
like
up.
that they gave it the Fury typing. That was cool. Whimsicott
Yeah,
or
it
if
really
not,
helps it out.
Greninja or Togekiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know that you love your Greninja, and especially in
Yeah.
Smash.
Especially
Ah.
in Smash.
You're too good
I
to
am
punch
too
Greninja.
good at
Is-
Greninja.
Is Whimsicott like? Is that like Yoda but with a tail?
What?
Is that green or brown?
Things are what?
Oh
Yeah,
right.
It's brown. Oh, we should
Oh, I thought it
explain
was
that
green.
Logan is colorblind.
I
We
forgot.
may get some colors wrong.
So he just looks like Yoda.
Yeah, I thought he was Yoda with like a fluffy.
Oh,
like-
it's probably
With an
important to
afro.
say that I've only like ever played the games. Like I don't know hardly anything about the anime
Really?
or a little bit about the cards. Like
Well,
I
I've-
got like
That's
maybe
like-
eight
I'm your resident card nerd here. So
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah,
but
I
as
played-
of late, I will need to catch up.
I feel like me and Harry then are like the anime experts
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
Mm.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
know anything. I played Fire Red, Sapphire, and then I went straight to. I played some of Oliver's
Oh yeah, X and Y. And
X and Y, and that was really easy. And then I
It's a
played
very easy game.
Sword. No, Shield, because the logo looked cooler.
because the logo looked.
I'll back you up on that. Yeah.
The legendary doesn't look as cool, but.
So we
I don't
kind
know, I
of
think-
cover.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Pardon, Oliver?
I was saying we like cover quite the range. for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Like, we all have a different area.
Now,
Cool.
So should we? We're like going to be discussing
Oh, yeah.
the episodes from Pokemon,
Yeah.
the anime, and what better place to start than the first episode?
definitely.
Pokemon, I Choose You.
But I actually, quickly though, Dennis, I
Yes.
think just to prove you guys are Pokemon masters, like you say,
Oh,
Oh, boy.
I went on the Poke community page
Oh,
and I found a
love it.
thread about riddles,
ooh.
Ooh. Oh boy.
like Poke riddles. My body is entirely blue. I am the taller of two. My brother is a fighting type 2.
Sock.
Who am I? Pardon?
Sock.
Is that right?
Is that it?
S-A-W-K. Sock.
Oh yeah, nice.
Does it not say?
There's no answers, but like for these ones. Oh yeah, the answer is sock. Here we go.
Sock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, good one. Nice.
I appeared in all, even one. My skills are greater than none. Just take a swim and you will see me. How common I might just be. I would actually get this one.
What was
What
the
is-
first line? Sorry.
I appeared in all, even one. Like the number 1.
Oh, Magikarp. It's
Yeah,
Magikarp.
Magikarp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Tentacool because it is better. Tentacruel. There you go.
I'm hated by my foe.
Gyarados?
And I'm the great with a Venoshock. But all you really need to know is I evolve from Arbok. Oh, that just gives away.
Survivor.
Ekans. Survivor. That's a deep cut right there.
It is the Viper, isn't it?
No, it's
Yeah.
Ekans.
This is the Viper on here.
What?
The Viper's the right answer. Evolved from Arbok. It doesn't evolve from Arbok, but it's another poisonous snake.
Right.
Who's
and that's what
Ekans? Are
some
they
people
not the
would
same?
think.
So they're not the same
Ekans is
Pokemon.
what evolves into Arbok. Survivor is another poisonous snake, which is a great
Thank you for
has a great rivalry with Zangoose, and that's the great foe.
In the anime, in
What
the
are the
in the advanced generation anime, you know how they have those like who's that Pokemon? There was like one where they did like a trainer's choice, and it was like what does Arbok evolve into, and they mistakenly said Seviper, so I think it's a reference to that.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I've got another one for you.
Okay.
I was endemic to Kanto before I got a use. I outrun Zeb Striker and bury it loose. Who am I? Lose. Who am
That's tough.
Yeah.
I?
Wait, someone
I was
says Kanto
endemic to
Pokemon.
I was endemic to Kanto before I got a use. I outrun Zeb Striker and bury it loose.
Maybe like a Mega
It's
Pokemon.
It's what?
And
That's
bury
like-
it loose.
It's loose.
It loose. Here you go. You can just read it.
I don't have a clue.
I would say it's a Pokemon that gets a Mega Evolution from Kanto. That's like really fast. That becomes real fast. that like probably was shit and then became real fast.
Rattata. Rattata.
A Pokemon
There you go.
with like
Boom.
an Alolan form. What was
Logan's
it?
got it.
Doug Trio.
Oh,
Because it was in
yeah,
Kanto,
'cause he-
its base speed is higher than some strikers.
Wow, I
And
didn't know
Doris.
that. Okay,
Okay.
that's the
Yeah,
video
Doug
game
Trio's
knowledge
very
there, Oliver. You
fast.
should have got
Yeah, no,
that.
I don't. Doug Trio doesn't run. It's 3 heads.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't know what's underneath there. We
It's
can't
like
judge that.
It's like whack-a-moles are fast, but they just pop out of holes.
have you seen
And then
those
the Alolan
memes
version's just
where?
handsome.
Have you seen those memes where like the Dugtrio are like 3 like super burly men?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sure you have.
I can show you. Wait.
Oh no, we know. Yeah.
we know. We see.
Okay.
Yeah, we know. Trust me.
Okay.
So Pokemon, I Choose You,
I
originally
Choose You.
airing on April 1st, 1997,
Well, look at that. Almost
and
23 years.
and in America on September 8th, 1998. This is from Bulbapedia.
Right,
And yeah, big props
Actually, our
to
sponsor
Bulbapedia. So it begins with a battle, which I think is probably like the really coolest part. Is it begins like based off of the video games?
Yeah, but it has
I
like
wrote that.
it has
I
the
love
whole
that intro.
it has like the Game Boy, like it has like the
Yeah.
black and
It
white
has the
going
click,
into it.
you hear the
And it's even
noise.
better as well. It has the actual Pokemon that's in the video game intro as well. Gengar,
Yeah.
Nidorino.
And it has Bruno from the Elite Four.
Well, it's not like specified, but it looks like Bruno.
It's
I was
pretty
thinking
much-
I was thinking that myself today as well. Yeah.
It is essentially his silhouette. Although
Bruno
I
doesn't use
think
a Nidorino.
I think though now canon is like saying that maybe it's Agatha's Gengar and it was Oak's Nidorino.
That's
Because like
how,
'cause it-
how could you know that?
they reference it. They reference it in. They reference it in Pokemon Masters, the app.
The app.
Yeah. There's like a thing where they like are battling, and you're like, oh, are they maybe they were battling when they were younger?
I can assure you, not a single person that worked on that game was also working on the anime. They have no idea. So,
How do you know? There could have been.
Yeah, you don't know. In
It
fact,
would've
I
been
think
like
you're
a-
wrong, Oliver, because I'm pretty sure there have been people that like.
okay, great.
interested-
No, they would.
It's gonna take Dennis half an hour on the internet to find those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the intro to the anime, at least anyway.
The iconic
Yeah,
theme song.
Yeah, we got like, how can we not discuss that?
What, the theme song?
When I messaged you guys today saying like, no, nothing else in the world gives me such a wave of nostalgia.
Yeah.
That theme song,
It's
like the
just-
whole 2D animation of it, the guitar riff for the intro, seeing Mewtwo
No.
just fly off. It's
You got
it's
Venusaur standing there not doing anything when they cut
something. Venusaur is trying its best, Oliver. That's what it's doing.
It just amps you up.
Would Mew have been a spoiler, or was Mew in like fire? In like so it was Mew
Fire.
in red. Sorry,
In
red and blue.
okay,
like-
so
Stop laughing at
so
me.
briefly
was an
the
event?
history. Yeah.
It's kind of tricky because I think the only one around alive at the time was me and Dennis, and I was 3. I was just born actually.
Yeah.
When the anime came out, at least.
The inclusion of Mew in the games is actually quite interesting because Mew originally wasn't going to be in the games, but there was extra space left over on the cartridge. So the programmer, who was the programmer? Well, the programmer
Please
of
know the name. That would be great.
it
We
was
can find that for you now.
We're all just like, I'm waiting in suspense.
the programmer Mew, Pokemon programmer.
I'm on it, Dennis. You're good.
Anyway,
it
keep
was
talking, Dennis.
Junichi
Yeah.
Masuda.
Junichi Masuda. That's
Oh,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So he didn't ask for permission to put Mew into the game. He just did it because there was extra space on the
I
cartridge.
respect that. That's
What, the original game?
Yeah. So in Japan, what was released was green and red. That's right. Yeah. And then later on, they released a blue version. And when that got released,
Which was the English red and blue version.
yeah, that's what
American version.
that's what those were based off of. And then they had like the version exclusives and stuff. And then yellow version. So that's the history of the first generation of the games in terms of their release order. And that's why
Thank
like
you,
there's that.
Dennis.
there's that whole. Well, we'll go over this later. But Gary in the games is called.
I'll see Harry.
Is called. Gary is
Called Blue in the
Blue.
games.
Yeah, but he's blue in like Western countries, but he's green in Japan because
Right.
it's red and green. So yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
And then also the female character that was introduced in the Gen 3 remakes was eventually known as Green.
I thought it was Leaf.
Well, no, it was Green because red, blue, green.
Oh yeah.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
Trifecta. You can also fight red, blue, and green all in the Let's Go games, I believe, as well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't red in Pokemon
You
Sword
can
or
fight
Shield?
red.
Or is that an earlier game?
Yeah, you can. You can fight green after you catch Mewtwo, and then blue is obviously the gym leader. No, it's Giovanni, isn't it?
That's in Let's Go.
Yeah, it's Giovanni.
Okay.
So I don't think you
Anyway, this
can fight Gary.
for
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the
It's-
episode. That's
it's
our main topic
iconic.
of discussion.
Do you know if they weren't like based off an anime, they could have kept that, I think, for like the whole series. But
How do you mean?
like instead of changing, you know how they change it every season? Like
I don't know what you're talking about, Dennis.
Change what?
the opening.
Ah, yeah.
I thought, are we still talking about the opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have kept that. They've like tried to remix it, but nothing really compares to the original.
Wait, have they changed the opening to Pokemon?
Yeah, of course.
season,
Every
yes.
yeah.
Has it still got to catch 'em all?
No,
The only
No,
only
they
time it came-
stopped using that motto. Why you look so shocked?
I don't even watch the anime. And I know that.
They tried to they did a remix of it, a cover version, I suppose, for X and Y, but it's nowhere near as good as the classic.
Yeah.
What?
Ever
I want to
since-
listen to them.
Ever since 4Kids kind of lost control of the license, the openings have never been as good.
Oh.
I do really enjoy the openings to both Johto
I-
and Hoenn generations, though. Every single
get,
one of them are excellent.
Yeah, those are good.
I got like when watching the opening for this one, like Dragon Ball Z, like with the dragon, it's the dragon, that song,
Yeah.
that one. I got like those vibes, like they're like super like heavy metal like guitar riff.
Yeah. So an iconic opening. We could just spend a whole episode talking about it, but let's.
Alright, so I had a thought so like one of the things that happens when like he wakes up, when Ash wakes up, is he sees like it's the ad from Professor Oak coming up, and it's like, oh, tomorrow's the day you get to pick your Pokemon. Do Pokemon cost? Like, did Ash have to pay for that Pokemon?
No,
Or, like,
it's,
did Oak just go out there for free and catch all these Pokemon for these kids?
So for turn in 10, it's a gift for you to go and start your Pokemon adventure.
Okay.
That's all we kind of know, lore-wise at least. I don't know if it's like in every town, just specific 10-year-olds. Is it like the Hunger Games, where they would just attribute themselves to be Pokemon trainers? I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. No, I think he picked.
Something really interesting I noticed from that is when Oak is presenting the 3 starters as well. It's the official artwork by Ken, I think his name is. It's like the artist. I thought that was like quite cool.
Oh, yeah, because I think there's actually a prequel episode that's like 23. It's like season 23. I was like reading up on that
Yeah,
one.
this year. I briefly like breezed through some of it.
Yeah, it shows Ash telling his mum, I think, that he wants to be like a Pokemon trainer. Maybe I think he's like enrolled into it or something. Is he?
Maybe it's like a sign-up, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to decide by the age of 10 if you want to play
It's
with
not
It's your
government
life- it's like-
mandated. They give you
it's like-
Pokemon.
Your life goal.
They
It's like
get funded by the government, yeah.
Yeah, we were watching it with April, my girlfriend, and then we were just like, she was just like, oh, like imagine having to pick your life decision at 10 years old. Like, I'm a Pokemon trainer.
I'm 23 now, I still know what's going on.
Yeah. Although people do like, you kind of have to decide what you want to do with your life like around 18 or 16. You know?
Yeah, but that's like a bit different from 10. Like, what was that?
Like,
Like 10 years old.
Most people, if not probably almost all, haven't even hit puberty by that stage yet.
Yeah.
When I was
To
10,
decide
I
what
wanted
you
to be
wanna do in
Jack
your
Black.
life.
Was that 2 years ago, Oliver?
I don't
And Kung
think
Fu
the kids
Panda?
know.
When you were 10 2 years ago, Oliver, how did it
Say
feel?
that, he's got the most full beard out of all of us.
Oh, I show. I'm still
Still working
working.
on it.
So
Something I loved as well in Ash's bedroom was like all the little Pokemon stationery.
oh yeah,
There was like a Poliwag sharpener.
it's like going
it was
into your
like
house,
a
Gary.
It's like a
Clefairy money
Clefairy.
box.
Yeah, the Clefairy money box. That was so gross. Like a
A
Queen
Zubat,
Swallow in the top of
Zubat like
Clefairy's head.
baby
Yeah,
thing.
so-
Yeah,
And the alarm clock was
and-
like a Pokeball, wasn't it?
it was a Voltorb. Yeah,
Yes.
and then of course the Snorlax, the Snorlax beanbag in the room as well.
Oh,
Assuming
yeah.
it's a beanbag and it's a Snorlax,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Well, me and
That
Oliver
was my
actually
dream at that
own.
age. I wanted a room like that.
Me and Oliver own a the ghost Pokeboo. Oh, that's
Boo.
from. That's
That's
not from
not-
Pokemon.
Oh my God. Are you talking about your boo
Really showing your
beanbag?
knowledge here. Good.
Yeah, sorry, I got mixed up.
Oh my gosh.
And then I thought it was really funny. There's the narrator in the opening, and it's
Yes,
like he says something, and then Ash almost like replies to him. He was like, oh, we go to this boy, and then Ash is like, I'm Ash, or however Ash sounds.
Like an opening monologue.
Yeah. But
You
it was
know-
like shared between two of them.
You know, a funny thing about that Ash is I read in an interview Veronica Taylor, who's the voice of Ash in these earlier seasons,
Who you had the
Ash.
pleasure of meeting, Dennis.
who I did have the pleasure meeting. Thank you. I also met the Japanese voice of Ash, so I've met both Ashes and Pikachu.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty. Just putting that out there. I have their autograph somewhere on that wall there,
Nice.
actually. Veronica Taylor. Yeah. She was saying how her voice director was like telling her that like Ash's voice isn't that high, like kids don't talk like that. And so then she, I think she got like a voice clip or got her nephew to come in and be like, that's a 10-year-old. They do sound like that. So that was quite,
I sounded like Elmo when I was 10.
yeah. I can see that.
I can believe that. Yeah.
I want to play Pokemon. Right, and then I learned that Ash's first pick was Squirtle,
Yeah.
and Charmander was his
Charmander
last
last!
pick.
Charmander was
I was like, what the hell?
That's really interesting because obviously Charizard being such a popular fan favorite, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if they were aware of that at the time. I'm not sure because it was very early into the stages of Pokemania. But Squirtle is the obvious choice to start anyway.
No.
Let's put that out there.
I picked Charmander. My first ever starter was
yeah,
Charmander.
but you know,
I was
you
like-
thought Boo was a Pokemon, so what do you know?
No,
They were going to
Also, in this when Ash is there with the selection on the Pokeballs as well. Very briefly is the Japanese names of each of your Pokemon.
oh.
Yeah.
You caught that as well.
Yes.
I never noticed that until the rewatch for this
Yeah.
episode that it was on there, and that was an awesome little touch.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that there's only 3 10-year-olds or 4 10-year-olds in this whole town, but the whole town is excited about the fact that there's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can we talk about like what an e-boy Gary is?
Yes, I had
the
down
ch-
on my notes.
what's an
is
Oh,
e-boy?
the cheerleaders?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
does Gary have so many cheerleaders?
Who are these
Yeah.
girls?
He's 10 years old.
Who are? What are they
Yeah.
doing? Why? Yeah. So we should probably explain. Like they've come up to Oak's lab, right?
Ash
And-
overslept.
Ash runs up.
overslept.
Yeah,
and
he
was
overslept.
Run into the lab. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's there, and there's all these cheerleaders like cheering him on. And Gary is also like a 10-year-old boy who like lives in the town, and it's like, why does he have cheerleaders? He's this 10-year-old kid, and they're
And
like,
they're
yeah,
not-
Gary.
They're not 10-year-old cheerleaders.
They're
They don't-
older than Gary.
Yeah, they don't look
Yeah.
like 10-year-olds.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got like
I-
the crop top and the short skirts.
I mean,
These are-
like,
these are developed
look at
women
Justin
cheering
Bieber.
on.
Justin Bieber fans, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, so,
And
yeah,
who's
so-
driving him around in that car as well? Like, does he get paid by the hour? I want to know.
There was like a butler. Like I saw like the butler hat.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I don't know.
Classic nepotism right there.
Yes,
like, it's-
nepotism. I was going to add that.
Yeah.
He says the line, "Oh, it's nice to have a grandfather in the
Yeah.
Pokemon business." The nepotism.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I actually haven't like I don't know if it's a spot. I don't know. So don't tell me until I watch it. Who Gary's Pokemon is? I don't know which one he picked.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember from the 8 episodes you watched before?
Nah, is he in those 8 episodes?
I'm pretty sure he does, but I don't know if they actually battle.
I don't think it is actually like mentioned until the Indigo League, right?
Oh, is it a big reveal though?
Is
Not
it the
really.
Indigo League or Johto?
They fight in Johto. Then Ash and Gary fight in Johto.
Yeah, I think maybe it's revealed then.
Which
Gary-
is the second region in the Pokemon world.
Is Gary still around? Like
For
now?
those who don't know.
Gary after the first and but a little bit the second season doesn't show up around nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
And like by the time they reach the Gen 4, he's out of the picture pretty much completely.
Yeah, he doesn't really, which is
He shows up
really,
in the first episode in Gen 4
think
with
that's
Electivire.
I think that's so weird that he kind of just like isn't part of the series anymore, considering Ash is still there.
Alright,
like,
we're still on episode 1. I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're talking about 10
But
years in the future.
Spoiler alert.
Here we go.
So ultimately, Ash ends up giving his Pokemon, which we all know by now, of course, is Pikachu.
The sassiest Pikachu.
The sassiest people.
I have a little bit of discussion topic here for you guys.
Uh-huh.
So originally, this Pokemon slot was meant to be for Clefairy, which I don't know if you know.
They were originally
They
going
were-
to have
Yeah, David
Clefairy.
Considering Clefairy, but they wanted to go to Pikachu because it appeals more to both demographics of both male and female fans. With Pikachu being like a badass electric type fighter for the boys and cute enough for the girls.
Yellow and like red.
So if you were to pick what Pokemon it would be to be in
Ooh.
that mascot, discounting Clefairy, Pikachu, and the 3 starters.
Yeah.
And just from Gen 1, which Pokemon would you pick? I have my answer, but I want to hear you guys.
So like the Pokemon that would be the mascot for Pokemon for like
Pretty much, if you
the
had that
rest
power
of Pokemon's life.
to pick which one would it be?
My
already know.
initial
It took me like an hour to think of my answer.
my initial thoughts was into like Magby or Alakid,
Right.
who are the pre-evolutions of Magmar and Electabuzz, but they're not Gen 1 technically.
Does it have to
But
be
that would
Gen
be
1?
quite cool.
I think just to like give it to like what they would have had to pick themselves,
Yeah.
and then we could do after. Well, say if you don't have a Gen 1 answer, say it, but then try and get a Gen 1 answer.
I think I have one. I think Poliwhirl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's just so
Well,
burly.
he was. He
And
actually
he's-
was-
Oh, you're cutting out a bit.
Oh, sorry. He was one of the main Pokemon in the mangas, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Main character.
And
yeah,
also-
he picked.
I think the Poliwag line is one of the favorites of I think Junichi Masuda, the creator of Pokemon, or
I
something.
really like it as well. I think it's fantastic.
The horn
Yeah,
one?
yeah, that's true.
What's it
Although
called?
what's
Goldie.
Poliwhirl evolve into?
Well, we got Poliwag, then Poliwhirl, and then Poliwrath, and then in Gen 2 we
Poliwrath.
get Politoad.
Yeah, Poliwrath is just like a roided up Poliwhirl.
I love Poliwrath. I think it's and the interesting typing of water fighting is pretty cool.
Okay, how
Yeah,
about
for sure.
is it Nidoran?
Nidoran?
Yeah,
Nidoran.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
because it's like
Nidoran was on my mind. Yeah.
because
Too
it's blue up.
spooky
It's
looking. I
Ah,
feel.
it's
Nidorino.
Nidorino's creepy. Is that the big dino when it comes big?
Now the second stage.
Yeah.
Ah.
Nidorino.
Yeah, but Pikachu like Raichu. We could argue the same about Raichu. Looks
Raichu
kind
is
of
disgusting.
yeah.
But
What?
put it this way, Pikachu doesn't evolve though. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So are we gonna say like Nidoran?
Well,
Yeah,
I-
so it was just-
I was thinking in the vein that it's not going to evolve because you want like a single mascot for your entire franchise.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Nidoran. But if I had to go out of Gen 1, Mudkip.
Yeah, of course. I was thinking like for about a solid hour, and I came down to 2 and then solidified to 1. So I went with either Vulpix or Growlithe.
Oh,
Oh,
Growlithe,
yeah.
yeah.
Ultimately, I went with Growlithe because the dog appeal. People love dogs, and most people own dogs.
Yeah.
True.
Sandshrew.
That's true.
Sandshrew could have been good.
I consider Sandshrew as well, but I
Really?
think Evolution's better than the Sandshrew. Growlithe can like be there for an entire 20+ year franchise and kind of carry it on his back. Whereas
Well,
Sandshrew, I think,
maybe.
could drop,
Put on
drop its favor.
a Growler.
Growlithe is one of your favorite Pokemon, right?
I do like Growlithe, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a Alolan Vulpix though, that's beautiful. But
Yes.
Love
So
Vulpix is quite
that was,
good.
what,
After-
17 years later?
Yeah. After he gets Pikachu, he goes out to he goes outside and he basically electrocutes the whole crowd.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And then Oak's like, "Oh, wear gloves."
Yeah.
Imagine
a good
being like,
lesson.
Luckily,
there.
his mum packed for him to do his laundry, so that's fine.
imagine being the only Pokemon trainer and like rocking up to a training a tournament and wearing like pink rubber gloves that your mum got you.
That's a cosplay idea right
That
there.
is a cosplay.
Like first episode Ash.
That's like a
and,
rare
rubber gloves.
cosplay.
That's a fun thought.
Yeah.
But then Ash starts his journey.
He does.
he
He
does.
goes on.
Essentially, yeah.
He essentially does what like every newbie Pokemon trainer does when you play the games. He like tries to and fails to catch Pokemon.
He just throws a ball and nothing happens.
yeah.
And then he results to throw in stones at Pidgeys.
Yeah. Actually, that one of the best lines, I wrote it down. It happened when he sees the Pidgey. I was shook when I heard it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your last moments of freedom, because you're mine.
Yeah, he does say that, eh? It's crazy. It's like, okay, Ash.
And then, like,
count it.
And
Wow.
Pikachu, like, hates being in the ball as well. So it's just like...
Yeah. I think it's safe to say, like, up until the end of the episode, Ash is kind of painted to be a bit of a dick, in my
Yeah.
mind.
Well, he's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a naive kind of
Yeah,
kid.
he's naive, I think, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like brings up like all the things that you like. I think everyone who plays Pokemon has thought of it at one point. It's like, are the Pokemon happy? Like in their like little balls being forced to fight each other.
That's why if you feed him rare candies, they'll be happy. That's okay.
I thought an amazing moment was when Ash asked Pikachu, he just asked, like, do you like me? Do you like me? And then Pikachu's just like...
Yeah, whatever it is.
just like instant, like there's this instant like the relationship just is off to like a horrid start, and it's
Yeah,
really
it's really
funny
is.
to watch. Like him having to like battle the Pokemon, like Pidgey we were saying, he's the one battling them, not Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
remember,
quite funny to watch, I thought.
About 2 or 3 years ago, I was watching. My little cousin has recently gotten a Pokemon, and I was watching like a later, I think it was like Gen 6 around the time of this, and seeing obviously the bond that Ash and Pikachu have then. And then he wanted to watch the original series, like stuck it on for him, and seeing how Pikachu and Ash were so clashy,
Yeah.
he just couldn't comprehend it.
that's funny.
He was like,
That's
"Why do they
character
not like each
development.
other?" Yeah. So it was nice to see some character development at least after
Yeah.
15 years of TV.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
And what happens? What happens next? Is this when he gets
So
the
the
Irefear
Pidgey runs
Spearow?
away.
Spearow.
Yes, that's right.
And then the Spearow starts like, oh, the Spearow, actually, they went into the, I don't know if they've ever done it again, they went into the Spearow's vision, so you saw what the Spearow saw,
Oh, yeah.
and it's black and white.
Yeah,
And I was like, do
that's-
Pokemon,
it's very well done as
that,
well.
That hasn't been done again, but that was really interesting.
do Pokemon see in black and white, or at least
good
Spearow?
point.
At least Spearow, I guess.
Yeah.
But this like first episode is just really well done in
Yeah.
general. Like it really holds up, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it was so cool. Like it was like because it looked like it had just been like drawn in. Like maybe like they didn't color it in time. So I don't know, but it was like it looked really cool. Yeah, and then he like
The pilot straight away.
so like he like throws the rock at the Spearow. Then it looks like he's like beating it, and the Spearow starts to cry, and then it just
Yeah.
like screams.
And then just
Anyone care to
care
mimic the Spearow scream?
There we go.
Very, very good.
That's actually the exact cry from the game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Found one in a while.
I've heard that crying a couple of trees at night time.
And
So
then
Ash is in trouble.
Yeah, a flock of Spearows fly from a tree and chase them down.
He-
Ash and Pikachu.
He commits grand theft bicycle.
He does.
This is the first introduction of Misty as well.
He jumps into the water, yeah, and then we see
Very important
Misty.
character.
On this runner montage as well, it's really cool to see all the Pokemon they slipped in.
Yeah,
And,
like all just the wild Pokemon.
Like they had to litter in a lot of Pokemon for like obvious reasons. I think I wrote down a list of all Pokemon
Oh, nice.
that was
Okay.
shown in the episode. I'll just run through them quickly because it kind of relates to this. So
Yeah.
there was a Gengar, Nidorino, and Onix, a Voltorb, a Clefairy, a Zubat, Snorlax, Poliwhirl, 3 starters, Pikachu, Dodrio, Pidgey, Rattata, Spearow, Sandslash, Mankey, Magikarp, Gyarados, and then one more which we'll save for the end.
Gyarados
That's
is
like
cool.
a massive handful of Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess it's like cool because
Right
like when
back.
you're playing the video games, you don't really like, especially the early ones, you don't think about how like all those Pokemon are just walking around there normally.
Yeah.
So it like helps to like set up that world.
It's like
more in
world
your
building.
imagination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the wild area in the new game. Like helps, like kind of like it's similar to that idea. Like they're just all roaming around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of paints the idea as well, because with Gen 1, in the first route, you'll have Pidgeys and Rattatas.
Mm.
But this is technically Ash going to Viridian City. Like in the games, it takes 2 seconds. But in the anime, he's going through and seeing all these Pokemon, which kind of paints the wonderful picture of like,
Like
maybe
a
in the games
giant.
it's the same thing as well. Yeah.
And then he jumps down a waterfall and into some rocks to save his Pikachu.
Wow.
He swims past the Magikarp
Risky
and almost
man.
gets eaten by a Gyarados.
Yeah, and steals
Yeah.
Misty's
He's bike,
bicycle.
which he
Which
says
he
he's going to
says-
pay for that later.
He says he'll give it back. We'll find out.
I mean, he says he's going to give it back. The state of the bicycle we see later on in the episode, it's not good. I'll just say it's like
But-
in smithereens.
I was
Was promised.
yeah.
It's char grilled. Anyway.
I was looking into the episode, and when Misty like asked if he's okay, the shot beforehand is that it goes to like him saying he is, and Misty's hands is all of a sudden up here
Oh yeah,
because
they cut
originally,
that out.
they cut from the Japanese one. She like
Yeah.
full on like properly like slaps Ash
slap.
in the face,
Yeah.
but they cut it out for the American version.
There's quite a few episodes like that, which I think would be a good topic.
Yeah,
For a different whole other podcast episode of band
just like
episodes.
cut
The band
Oh,
episode.
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Dennis was saying the epilepsy episode would be
Oh.
like interesting.
The seizure one.
The
Have you
seizure.
guys
Was that a
ever
movie
watched
or an
it?
episode?
No, it's an episode.
I
I've
saw
never
like
seen
a really like small, like super small clip of it, and like I could see how you could get a seizure from it. It's like
Wow.
intense.
Wow.
I managed to find a clip of it online a couple years back, and yeah, it hurts your eyes.
I want to watch it,
Yeah.
but I'm also scared.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. I
Same
was freaked out myself.
Yeah.
But it's
If you watch it like minimize the screen, make it
Because
small.
in the color, yeah.
don't do what
So-
I didn't watch it on a full screen laptop.
Yeah, don't do
Look
that.
after your eyes.
Yeah. So then he steals the bike, and he's running away, and then he goes down like.
Sparrow are just
They're
coming.
intense. I've
There's
never
scenes
seen.
of a road trip, yeah.
This episode has made me like I don't catch Spearow and use them in the games because like they scare me.
They never appealed to me either. They always look kind of scary.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're not.
I like Zero though.
Nasty.
Okay, well, you're alone in that.
I got a shiny one in one of my games somewhere.
I've never caught a shiny Pokemon except in Let's Go, where you can just like me and Oliver were just farming
yeah.
all the Pokemon.
Yeah, we would farm them.
Shiny hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so he falls down into like a ditch, and then this is where like the cool like so then Pikachu's like dying, and he's like, "Please get in," and Pikachu doesn't.
Yeah.
In the Pokemon
And then-
side, it's not. Yeah.
And then Ash like stands up, kind of in like the Jesus position,
Yeah.
and is like,
Sacrificing
and he's
his
just, like,
life.
come at.
It's like come at me, Spearows. Yeah.
and then they come at him. And
That was
then-
that was quite like touching to see though. Ash actually standing up, and it was
Yeah.
like I thought that was awesome. Like he
Well,
just
he's-
loved, even though Pikachu and them have had, he would do anything just to like stand
Yeah.
in front of Pikachu.
Well, it's like he says, it's his destiny.
So like
Yeah.
Pikachu got hit by a lightning bolt, right?
Yeah.
And then
as he jumped
got
off Ash's shoulder.
supercharged. And then my theory is that they died. They all died.
Yeah, that's like one of the cool theories that comes from
Yeah,
this
I've
episode.
read that theory that he was in a coma. From
Yeah,
then
so-
on.
Well, no,
So, like-
even not before the coma theory. We should talk about like how later on he sees Ho-Oh in
Yeah.
the sky. So my theory is that like Ho-Oh kind of revived Ash and Pikachu.
You should explain what Ho-Oh is.
Oh, Ho-Oh is the Pokemon that Ash sees at the end of
it's
the
a
episode.
it's a
The
legendary
sparkly
from
one?
Generation 2,
Yeah,
which
the
was
spark-
completely not like
Yeah.
in the books
not a thing.
at that point for anything.
No.
Ah, so
But
no
Ho-Oh
one
still
would
made
have
an
known what it
appearance.
was.
It looks
Yeah.
completely different from its actual design as well. The Ho-Oh.
Well, it's
does.
got different colors. Like the
Yeah.
body's still there. It's a giant flying turkey.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gold instead
Wait, so
of
you're
it.
talking about when Pikachu jumps off Ash's shoulder and like does the big blast?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the death. Oh, the coma theory is the one I know that
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
was talking about, which is how he stays young.
Which I don't
and,
think.
like,
I don't really know if I believe that to be true. But
Well-
but it is like it's a sliding scale. He's just been 10 forever now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
It's fun to discuss it, but you know, he didn't die. He's 10 forever because it's a kids' TV show.
Because it's a kid's TV show, yeah.
There's no theory to believe it. The reason he's 10
Especially-
forever
yeah,
is because it's for kids.
especially in that time. Yeah, kids always stayed the same age. But now it's like Adventure Time was one of the first ones I saw do it. They age with like the people watching it. So like Adventure Time, like
Yeah.
if you started watching that when you were like 10 and Finn was also 10, when it finishes and he's like 15, 16, you would have like you'll be slightly
Age with
older,
him. Yeah.
but you still
Yeah.
age with him. Which is like
They like every season, every new like generation of games where he goes to a new like region.
yeah.
They do like a soft reset. So it's like it's not like the stuff he did previously didn't happen, but it's like he kind of like loses all of his IQ points.
He kind of forgets how to play
IQ
Pokemon.
points?
Yeah, like he just gets
Really? He just gets knocked out or something? It just...
Yeah. Well, like the main point for me is
forgets everything.
the start of Unova, when Ash uses Pikachu against, I forget the rival's name. in
Snivy.
Unova. I
Trip.
haven't
Was
watched
it Trip?
I've heard of
I
this.
think it was Trip, yeah, and he fights a Snivy, and Ash's Pikachu that's been through 4 generations of TV shows loses to a level 5 Snivy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But I understand why it's for, because of course continuity and TV purposes, it's how it rolls. This is the media student in me now, and I'm gonna stop before it gets boring.
We should probably get back on track.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's-
what
so-
else is there in the episode?
So the big electrocution happens, he dies or like goes into a coma, and then he kind of wakes up and he sees Ho-Oh, is that
Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
Ho-Oh flying above him, and it's sparkling. And I guess I always read it as like Ho-Oh came to like
Bless
help
him.
in some
Revive
way,
him.
or he was like a guide, or like a seer or something, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone who like knew that Ash had something important to do, and his time wasn't up yet.
Yeah, I kind of view Ho-Oh as a phoenix, and so
Not
yeah.
a turkey.
Not as a turkey.
It's physically a turkey, but spiritually a phoenix.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Because in Johto, Ho-Oh, in the story of the games, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Ho-Oh revives the 3 legendary beasts, Entei,
True.
Suicune, and Raikou, which, yeah, if we do like a movie, we could talk about the 3rd movie where Entei shows up in.
Oh, that's
Right.
a great movie.
Interesting. It's a
Yeah.
good movie, one of my favorites. And then
Then the
okay.
episode ends. And
Yeah,
it's like,
we see Viridian City in the distance, and cue credits and the Poke Rap.
the Pokey Rat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good old
I was
Pokemon.
watching this, with Dennis, and Dennis knows the rap. I've heard all of you guys do the rap. Maybe not Oliver. Can you do the
I
rap?
don't,
No.
I don't know it all, but
Yeah, but I've heard all of you.
If I go along with the rap, I will try my best. Yeah.
I've heard of enough. I've heard both of you guys do it enough that like you know it almost like too much. And I was just sitting there watching it for like one of the first times in like ages with the Poke Rap. I'm just like I don't even know how you could ever memorize that, especially like when you're like 10 watching it on like Cartoon Network or something.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you show me a picture of a Pokemon, I'll name it like in a second, but put it in a rap form. My God, the
Yeah.
pressure.
They
It's
like
tricky.
they
Yeah.
did so well with their like marketing and like their brand recognition
Yeah,
and like
definitely.
just hammering it into your head that these Pokemon are like what their names are, like having them say their own names as well is just so clever.
Yeah, and the voices. Yeah.
Oh,
My
have we
favorite
lost-
one is
oh,
when Wartortle shows up.
Yeah,
Wartortle.
Yeah, everyone knows that
so
one.
good.
But yeah, so then that was the whole episode. The Pokemon rap. What? How many Pokemon does it show in episode? 32.
I think it depends on the verse as well.
Right. I think that was 30 Pokemon from memory.
Wow, that's impressive memory.
Actually, does it introduce just the Pokemon that were in that episode?
No,
No.
Oh,
it's-
okay.
I think they just fit as much as they can into the, into
However
the
long
song.
they've been allocated.
And like they would show the Pokerap like separately from the anime.
Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, it was just an advert. Was the Pokérap, I think,
Yeah.
at one point, and I was like,
Ah.
what is
And like on Pokemon.com, there used to be like a jukebox section, and you could just play like all the songs from the TV show.
Yeah, I remember that.
the
Oh,
Captain
what a throwback.
Underpants website had Captain Underpants themed song,
Oh,
like Super Diaper
Yes.
Baby. If you ever saw that, had a country shuffle.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Should we all say some like
Well, I
kind of like summarizing notes on the episode?
Yeah.
yeah, you go first, Dennis.
Okay. I think also Harry, where are you?
Yeah, my camera screwed up. Just carry on.
Oh, but it's gonna be a pain to edit if you don't show up.
It's not working. We have to carry on.
Okay. All right. Ultimately, this was a very good first episode. It makes you want to see more of the action.
Action.
It makes you want to know what happens next. The music's really good, even though a lot of it is like dub only music. It's like, I think for me, it's like quite nostalgic now, even though it's not like objectively. I think the Japanese tracks are a lot better for the most part, but like the replacements now are quite nostalgic, so I quite like them as well.
Oh yeah, we should have made that clear that we're watching the American dub.
Yeah, so we're watching the dub, and yeah, it holds a lot of
all I know for Pokemon.
it holds a lot of nostalgia for me, and it really like
Great.
brings me to it's like my happy place.
Yeah, for me,
Oh,
I'm always shocked about how many Pokemon, when I ever watch them, were actually already existed by the first game. Because when I was a little, I just caught the same 6 Pokemon, and then and I just killed the other ones, and I wouldn't really look at them. So watching like the like the anime, and like even like the Pokerap, like when he's running through there, I'm like, I didn't know half those Pokemon existed when I was little. So it's
wow.
like cool to see like the foundations of something that I've only ever seen like the beginning of, and then now like the very like kind of end of. So it's quite cool.
That's
And it's
fun.
like, yeah, it's a good
how
like,
long this podcast goes. You can see Logan's journey through Pokemon. It's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
it's like a good story. It sets all the story up well, and like Pikachu's like interesting because like he breaks the norms of what we already know a Pokemon should do. So
Watching this for me it's almost kind of like a history. I kind of feel like, because like I said, like I never really watched the anime or the shows, and I kind of started like Generation 4 onwards, which was like around 2006, 2007. So it's like I can kind of see why it became such a big hit from this, because the way they set it up, like you guys have said, it makes you kind of want to see more, just like see what more Pokemon there are, and like seeing them actually in the environment, which you can't really do in the games, but seeing it like this in the anime is really cool. It's really like fascinating to see. So I had seen this before when I was like, saw it once when I was like 10, like that was it. It's like seeing it again now, I'm almost 20, like it was really refreshing, I think, actually. Yeah. So I had a good time. It was good. It was good fun.
Awesome.
Good 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's been like Pokemon is like when I think about it, it's insane how vital it's been in my life. Like I said, I've played the game since I was 3 years old, so I've played it for pretty much my entire life, and then watched it for pretty much my entire life. And then going back and rewatching this, it's just and how well it's structured, and just how good of a story
It
that's
still
being
holds
told.
up.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, in this first episode, it still holds up. It's a classic story that's never gonna go away.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really strong. But the thing I love about it most as well, though, when you play the games, you don't have a protagonist to root for other than yourself. And what's nice is watching the anime, you have Ash to root for. You eventually get Brock, and you eventually get Misty to root for as well.
Yeah.
And you meet all these other new characters to get to root for, like Richie, and I should have memorized more names before I'd started the list. I forgot. Like the dude from the Pokemon Snap games, he's in it as well, and the professor from Mount Moon. You get all these other characters to root for, and all these wonderful, colorful creatures.
Mm.
Which, as a child, is going to make your mind run wild.
And that kind of helps as well, because when you play the games, like how many people have named their character like Brock or Ash or Misty?
I've done that before.
Yeah.
When I
And
was
then it
younger.
makes you feel like
Exactly that.
you're
Yeah.
more part of that world. Yeah,
Yes, and it's a wonderful TV show that I know
definitely.
my future kids will be forced to watch.
Great. Wow.
That's good.
Will you make them play the retro games as well?
I still have them somewhere, so if I can find a Game Boy, then yes.
You're like, I'll let you play the next one, the next gen, if you can finish the Elite
That's
Four in this
awful.
gen.
What is
That's
that?
At 3 years old, I had to
Beat the
start
Elite
Red and
Four.
Blue. You know, kids these days start on Let's Go Eevee, which is super easy.
Yeah.
I want to see kids at 3 years old play Red and Blue and finish it by themselves.
You know, when I was 5, I played Pokemon Red, and I liked it.
Yeah.
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 Good game.
Dennis about to come at his kids with the old Misty.
Oh my god,
Oh my
Oliver.
gosh.
Okay.
And on that
That's how we gotta finish it.
what is that, like a violent joke?
Yeah, to finish it off.
Should we do like plugs and stuff, like our
Anyone have anything to plug?
I have nothing to plug other than unless you are a student at oh no, you can't even watch that because it's going to be online because of yep. I have nothing to plug. Just look out for the future.
Harry
That's
Hasheen.
all I got to say. Harry Hasheen, look out for his future.
Logan Delaney. I'm part of. Me and Dennis are both part of a company called Stew, with three other Wellington theatre makers. So if you give us a follow as well.
At stu.productions on Instagram and
There we go.
Facebook and
I think
YouTube.
it's important to say all four of us are theatre makers in Wellington.
Yeah.
We all study at the same place as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's how we're
You can,
here
you
and
can-
making stuff.
You can check me out at @overnot. That's KNOTT on Instagram. It's pretty interesting content up there.
Is
No.
there any content on
It's
it?
just me and my partner, pretty much.
I don't have social media, so I'm sorry.
Follow me on Instagram at dennis.ear.lim, dnnis.eir.lim.
And what's TikTok? What's your
And my
TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok, Dennis.
Oh my god.
Plug
get-
it, Dennis.
Follow me on TikTok at,
Is it Denny Limmy or something?
I think so. I might have
He doesn't
changed
even
it.
know his name,
Well, he
so
figures this out.
honestly...
If you wanna add me on Switch, I can give you my friend code.
Oh
Hit
my
me up.
God.
Ooh, free
Yeah.
codes on Switch.
Follow me
I
on
want
TikTok
to. I
at
want to visit more Animal Crossing villages.
Okay.
Follow me on TikTok at Denny Limmy, DNNYLIMMY.
I knew it, and he did.
If I get 10,000 views, Logan will make a TikTok with me. I've been trying to get him
That's
to.
so sad.
If he gets
I know.
20,000, Oliver will make
20,000.
one. And if he gets 50,000, I will make one with him.
Whoa! Bold claims
Oh
from
my
Harry.
god. Okay, I'm
Okay.
excited. We're gonna do
It's not a
like
bold
the
claim,
Benny
you know, it's not
dance.
gonna
I'm gonna be so excited.
I know the glitter one. Glitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Dexperience. I've been Logan.
I've been Dennis.
I've been Oliver.
And I've been Harry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next
Yeah.
episode, Pokemon Emergency. Okay, that was good.
That was good.
Hi.
Oh, we're still talking. That's right.
Good time.
You were just gonna be
I was like,
okay,
okay,
okay, they're gone now.